the Premier League ever been more challenging?
Welkom. Dit is mijn home and I want to achieve success. Okay?
Good morning, people. And when it comes to Premier League, everyone wants to achieve access to success, but to what cost? We're going to talk about in this podcast morning special edition, as we all been waiting for the Manchester City cheating allegation about 115 charges to be unraveled and unfold. There's certain ways you can win titles. There's certain ways you can be professional, or you can cheat. Now, this has been rumbling for quite a while, and breaking news is coming out from Talent Sports yesterday, and Martin Ziegler, which we're going to discuss about today. That's the hearing of the Manchester City 115 charges, alleged breaches, is about to start on Monday. And further implication, it's a fast track. There is no further way the City can kick the can further down the road, what they did in this sports arbitration in Switzerland. So this will be concluded and be fast tracked. So this will, probably finish by the end of the season. And some damning reports to come out to say that even if City, finds guilty, they will be relegated. So there might be a case that City might be relegated in January, meaning there's no point for them to play. And this is what we're going to talk about. Furthermore, we're also going to talk about the Glazers fizz out. What is the Ineos plan? Of course, we haven't been live for a while. There's been a lot of stories, speculations, what's going on out there in the news. You know what to do. We're going to talk about that as well. And I have some special guests coming in here as well. But you know what to do. Like and subscribe, because I have Sal Warner with me waiting in the background to speak to you. He's ready to come in. Salvatore. But you know what to do. Smash the like and subscribe, and we will be back after this jingle. Good morning, Mr. Salvatore.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Hey, capisce, baba bene. How are you doing? Brother, it's been a hot minute. Yeah, it's good. I've been out for 2 weeks, took a social break, 100%. Went to Bali, relaxed, just disconnected from all the trash stories. As it's an international break, you get the fake story news. But this is something we're going to talk about, which is not fake. So we are going to talk about the Martin Ziegler report that came out yesterday regarding Manchester City. It is happening. It is cooking. 115 alleged breaches is starting on Monday, the hearings, and also damning report to say if they're found guilty, they might even be relegated as early as in January. I want your thoughts and feelings, Sal. Talk to me.
Well, I think it's about time, to be honest with you. I think they should feel the harshest form of punishment. I don't think they should be let off in any way. I'm surprised it hasn't been done yet. It's taken a while for it to be done. Well, it's not done yet, is it? It still needs to go to court and everything like that. But that'd be lovely if they do end up getting relegated. I do think there would be an appeal probably, so it probably would drag out even longer, if they are found guilty. But they have to, 115 charges. My goodness me, they have to be found guilty.
Yeah, no, this came out yesterday from the brilliant Martin Ziegler that has, his fingers on the pulse to say the hearing into Man City's 115 allegation rule breaches is set to start on Monday, with a verdict on the case against the sponsorship rules, the top flight due to before the end of this month. So this seems to me, my friend, that they are kind of looking at a fast-tracking things, yeah? Listen, we all know it. We've seen some dodgy sponsorship that not really existing. You look at the LinkedIn pages, these companies, shell companies that doesn't really exist. You look at the financial revenues, and everyone is scratching their heads to say, look, you know what? How can you this year declare better revenues than Real Madrid and Man United, and you don't hardly sell any seats? Yeah, maximum you sell 25,000 home seats, and the rest is just filling the void. So, and also my question to you as well, they've been refusing to collaborating, handing over documents. While you look at Everton and Newcastle and everyone else, not Newcastle, but been collaborating, handing over the documents. The only one that is kind of in the ring at the moment is Newcastle because the Saudi ownership. But this my friend, smells guilty to me. I mean, without even saying that, if you don't want to collaborate, if you don't want to, you want to sort of push the can as further you can. Now the can hit the brick wall, and this is going to happen.
Absolutely. Like, I will give these Manchester City fans an example, right? I live in Abu Dhabi. I will go to Yas Island, and I'll go to the brand new state-of-the-art Manchester City megastore. And I will go there in that mall, in Yas Mall, right? And I'll show you how many people are in that mall every single day. Even on the busiest time, and it's a busy mall, there is one or two people inside. One or two. I don't know where they're making up these numbers at the end of the day. I mean, I can take pictures, I can go right now and it'll be empty. Every time I've been past it, because you have to go past it to go to the restaurants and stuff. But, you know, when you go past it, you look at it and it's empty, you know, and this is a plain fact. You know, I live in a country that invested in Manchester City, and I don't see Manchester City stops anywhere. You know, I don't see anything in Manchester City. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit like it's obvious where this is going. It's obvious they've made all these financial reports and stuff. It's all made up.
No, it's true. I mean, yes. I mean, I do feel sorry for certain City fans that's been, you know, City fans before this takeover, right? But I don't feel sorry for these so-called Chelsea fans or whatever, you know, the newborn fans that jumped the ship. Like, you know, first and foremost, you don't change the clubs. You know, you don't do that, right? And just supporting City. And second of all, like, you know, it kind of feels all these titles they won and all these players that they recruited in based on this, like, doesn't really matter, right? For me, Erling Haaland is a goal-scoring machine, but I'm just saying, well, so what? You play for City, right? I don't really care. Like, you know, nobody really cares, right? So if we can fill, I mean, in terms of revenues, there was a new report come out that we are second in the world on the revenue and match-going fans in and out, right? And then you look at City, where are they, right? To be honest.
This is what it is, you know, and a lot of Manchester City's fans have come from the last, I'll say 2011, 2012 season. They come from back then, you know, so I haven't met a real Manchester City fan in a long, long time, unless I go to Manchester by Main Road, where Main Road used to be, which is the Etihad Stadium. I haven't seen a Manchester City fan for a very, very long time. I'll be honest, in 2 years. I haven't seen a Man City fan. I'm living in Abu Dhabi, for goodness sake. You know what I mean? When I was growing up in the 90s and stuff, I didn't see any Man City fans then. You know, as I said, the only time you ever bump into them is at near Manchester City, where Main Road is, where it used to be and stuff like that. I don't see it now. And I just feel like this is a fake club, you know, a fabricated club, you know, that was built on money, given money.
Yeah.
They were given a cheat code as well, given a stadium as well. You know, and it's all fabricated for me. This is, you know, and for me, you know, it's a bit like drinking an energy drink. They got all this stuff, you know, they've gone all the way, they've got the energy, then they're just going to drop. You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen. And I hope they do, to be honest. I ain't going to lie, Mick. I hope they do get relegated.
Well, listen, I you know, for me, there's 3 points that I want to mention on that one. It's basically, yes, I lived in UAE as well for 10 years. And if you lived in UAE, you see the fast track of the development, like, you know, how fast it goes to build buildings, how fast everything goes, like the one in right here, right now. But when you live there, there is no soul, there's no culture, right? It's an empty shell, like full of expat people, and the country itself has about 900,000 Emiratis, like, you know, locals, right? And this is similar where you can sort of take into how the fast track to be successful, because they want to be successful. That's the mentality. They want the biggest, the best, the biggest buildings, and they want to be successful as soon as possible. But there's now charges even was in UEFA, even the UEFA president say, I know you're guilty. But what they did in the sports of arbitration in Switzerland was to kick the can as further they could. They over appealed, and there was a time bar stamp to say, well, after 10 years, it's no longer void. But this is now an independent panel, which is Premier League, which you can't do that. And now the judge and jury is out there, like, you know, to be honest. Second point is what I want to mention here as well, that even if they do get relegated, yes, you feel for the players, but it's going to be probably then a January exit window exodus, right? What do you think is going to happen if they do get relegated? Will Sheikh Mansour just sell it up or cop it up on the chin, or do you think they're just going to cease to exist? What do you think they're going to do with Juventus?
Well, Juventus got relegated. They all their players stayed, didn't they? Del Piero and players like that when they got relegated. But in regards to the UAE, I separate obviously what the UAE is to what Manchester City is. At the end of the day, UAE is a fantastic country, by the way.
Yes, 100% agree. Yeah,
it's beautiful, and it's one of the best countries. I've lived in England, born in England, and I've lived around the world. I've lived in Los Angeles. I've lived in places, and it's fantastic, as you know what I mean. But in regards to Manchester City, just clear that up in case I get deported. Anyway, in regards to Manchester City, right? Look, if they get relegated, I think that they're going to hang on, Mansour. I think they will hang on to it, because
you reckon they're going to hang on?
Yeah, I think their ego will just say, look, we're gonna fight this. We're gonna go all the way, and we're gonna get back to the Premier League. But you never know. It's all hypotheticals at the moment. What's going to happen if they do get relegated? I mean, there could be a huge exodus, or they could all stay and say, we dig their heels in the ground and say we're going to fight.
Yeah.
This. For me, they're not Juventus.
No, they're not.
No one
they're
loves
not.
Manchester City. No one
they're
loves
not.
Manchester City. People love Juventus. No one loves Manchester City, and only a few of those players from the reserves, from the youth team, love Manchester City. Those players there, Bernardo Silva's and Haaland. Let's see how much they love Manchester City if they go down to League Two and play Shrewsbury on the Tuesday night.
No, I agree with you, and I agree with you. But there's certain ways that I look at it to say that, what will happen. Okay, the players under the contract, right? You have Haaland, you have Gundogan that just came back, you have a lot of good players, Guardiola and all them, right? So what's going to happen? Are they going to stick around to play in Division 1, or are they going to say, well, there'll be a void to sort of go, and will it be something that everyone in the Prem can exploit to get those players in the January window? And that's a big question mark as well. It's yet to be seen. But the thing is, my problem is that, everyone has been cooperated, and money will get you to a certain degree. We know the UEFA has been, dodgy, and they've been sort of buying the time, but here they can't all of a sudden. What if they, let's take Roman Abramovich at Chelsea. He came in, he did the Wally dodgy stuff, but they only faced 1 year transfer ban under Frank Lampard, right? But here is Chelsea, and here is now Chelsea in the modern way, that they actually find loopholes within the FFP and everything. So they've been selling all the hotel assets, but they kick the can as further they can as well. So they can't do anywhere. And now they're facing internal battle of struggle. What's going to happen with Chelsea? So we might see 2 clubs going down as well. You never know. But for me, football is, it should be equal. Don't matter if you have money. I know that Saudi bought it, Newcastle, but they have been doing it organically. They haven't been cheating. But they want to do it, right? But for me, this is cheating. This is overinflating. This is like fast tracking to success. And those 4 trophies, the 4 Ps in Premier League, don't mean jack shit. Doesn't mean they're going to get stripped off all the titles, Sal.
I think they should forfeit those titles, and including the Champions League. To be honest with you, I think 100%. They should have to fulfill it, and it should be rewarded, regardless if they accept it or not. It should be rewarded to the second place team, or the team that came second. It should be on our record that we've won the title under Jose Mourinho and under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We should have had 2 titles then, because at the end of the day, they have cheated. And one thing that annoys me the most about this is that when the Premier League was being built, when the Premier League was growing organically, it was teams like Man United and Arsenal who created a rivalry, who built the Premier League for what it is for foreign investors to come in and be attracted to the Premier League in the first place. And now they're stepping on what it is, the legacy of the Premier League. Look, let's for example think about the Champions League. No one believed in Champions League when we first went into it in the 1950s, right? No one believed in it. It was Man United who believed in it, and no English club wanted to play in Europe, right? And we were the pioneers of this. And 4 teams like Manchester City, we sacrificed ourselves. 4 teams like Manchester City to thrive, only for them to cheat, and win Premier League titles and league titles. People say we spent money. We have spent $1 billion. We've spent $1 billion. Yes, we have.
Yes,
of our own money.
we have.
Of our own money. Not of money given to us. At the end
True.
of the day, what we spend has nothing to do with them because it is our own money at the end of the day. They've been given money and they're bending the rules. So, you know, I hope they feel the harshest form of punishment, in my opinion.
No, I hear what you're saying, and sometimes you got to be careful if their solicitors are listening. But anyway, they're going into court hearings, so I don't give a rat's ass, you know, because there was reports also to say there are counter-suing for unfairness, unfair treatment, and only the guilty one will not provide you the right evidence, will not collaborate, and they're threatening and they're using the power, the status, the money, and all that stuff, right? So, for me, it's a little bit dodgy how they've done it, and for me, I would say that in any given sport, Olympics, if you done doping or cheating, you get stripped title, your title, you get banned, and that's about it. Not allowed to compete. So I would like to see a severe punishment, in my opinion, based on sporting merits, based on fair play. That's what I want to see. If for some miraculous reasons they get a slap on the wrist, then they won. That means that the Premier League is done, according to my opinion. Because I don't want money to be a dominating factor. I want the Premier League to be the beautiful game as it is, that everyone has equal opportunities to compete and buy players, right? So the way we are cracking down now with FFP and everything else, PSR, is a way now that the Premier League is putting the foot down and say, look, you got to comply to these rules, right? But if City gets away with it, that means the Premier League is done. Like, you know, that means that everyone can cheat this rule cell.
It's exactly it. They're in a position now they can't not charge them. And 115 charges, there's going to be how many guilty? You know, this is not going to be one or two. There's going to be 30, 40, 50 charges.
Yeah.
And if you're deducting points for Everton, little teams like Everton, little teams like Leicester City, you're deducting them points, and Nottingham Forest and teams like that. But if you can't deduct Man City points, then
150.
the Premier League is a dud. The Premier League is no point. We might as well just all bend the rules then. We might as well do what we want, because at the end of the day, what precedent does that set to the rest of the Premier League? And unless they're relegated, they have to be relegated. I mean, not relegated once, but 2-3 times. Even National League, I think they should be going down to. You know, they need to feel the full force of it, and fined and deducted points, not just down one division when they'll be back the next season. You know, because that's what's going to happen at the end of the day. They need to feel it and they need to start again. And because they took titles from us. You know, they took titles from us. They took a couple from us. Even in 2012, they took the title from us. So that dodgy Aguero goal. Nothing sinister, by the way. Even Paddy Kenny in goal said it was he let the ball in, you know, and at the end of the day. And, you know, that's just ignored. It's enough of that now, you know. Enough. We need to punish these guys.
No, 100%. And I think also what Chelsea's been doing as well, like, you know, offering 8 years contracts just to get away with the FFP, also need to be. I mean, you need to close the loopholes. Like financially, since Omar Berada and everyone came in on board, they've been focusing on financial sustainability, which we're going to talk about in the next segment as well. So it's very interesting, and you know, justice will be served. Like, you know, you can't get away with 115 charges. That's what you said. Plus, if you look at Everton and who else was it?
Leicester City as well.
Leicester. Who else was it? Another club as well. Nottingham Forest. Yeah, but they had like a couple of charges, right? And they got points deduction. But if you look at 115, and they've been trying to use the power, the money to kick things around, and all of a sudden, Premier League needs to make a statement. They've been threatening, throwing lawyers and legals, and threatening to create a Super League. I mean, listen, if they will get relegated, do you see them just totally vanish and just go for a Super League? I mean, I don't really give a fuck about a Super League, to be honest.
I think that's what they're all trying to do anyway with this new Champions League format, trying to drift it into the Super League grounds. You know, Manchester City will be up for that, of course. They'll be happy to break away from the Premier League, especially if they get fined or they get relegated and stuff like that. But the one thing is that if rules can be bent, if they can be broken, what's the point of having the rules in the first place at the end of the day? For me, I just feel like it's too late now. You know, it's too late to start like punishing them. Even now, it's too late. You know, they just need to just get a move on at the end of the day. And now that Man City have built themselves into a club, an elite club, they built themselves up with using money that wasn't legit, you know, and they've become a powerhouse. You know, now they want to start changing the rules of the FFP and stuff like that. You know, for me, it's too late at the end of the day. And I feel like they need to now just punish Manchester City at the end of the day. And this Super League, my goodness me, I mean, we were protesting about that a couple of years ago in regards to the Super League. But, you know, if they want to kill English football off, you know, that's what they want to do. They just want to have a Super League, American-style Super League. Then, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Man City be the front runner in that, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't give a shit what they do in certain ways, because for me, football is for people. Like, you know, you always have to remember this is a people's sports, right? You can't raise prices up to 500 quid for a game. Like, that becomes a millionaire's ticket game, right? So unfortunately, I want to see some regulations to say that, okay, yeah, if you want to break away and create your own billionaires league, fine, do that. Like, you know, but leave the rest to us who was passionate about football, who's going to watch this Super League anyway, to have a broke Real Madrid anyway. The La Liga is not generating money. Like, you know, who's going to play in that league? You know, it's going to be boring. You want to see a league competition football where it's equal play. Like, you know, when you have transfer windows where you have certain challenges, you have to sort of look at how, you know, the operational spend versus how much you're buying in it. It's going to be equal, right? Otherwise, what's the point? Like, you know, if you have endless pits of money, you can just buy yourself a, you know, superstar team and dominating like a year in and year out, like what they've been doing. So thoughts regarding that, you know, do you see like the Premier League will be, I mean, I see Premier League already as this Super League, like, you know, everyone wants to play there, like it's the best football in the world, you know, but what I'm seeing Premier League is doing now is cracking down on financial fair plays, and they want to sort of be sustainable, right?
I feel like if Manchester City did lead the league, we wouldn't miss that Manchester City. You know,
I wouldn't miss them at all.
We wouldn't, because as you can tell with the media and the journalists around this country, without Manchester United, there's nothing to talk about. Absolutely nothing to talk about. Man United are the club that keeps the country running. If you look at what they do for the English economy as well, Man United, absolutely. If they removed Man United from the economy, from England, the economy would just drop dramatically. They removed Manchester City, we weren't missing that much. We never missed them in the past. We're not going to miss them now, of course. We're not going to miss them now at the end of the day. So I just feel like, you know, it is good that they're cracking down. It is good. But I just feel like it's about time, and they need to get a move on with this. And I won't be happy until I see it in black and white. You know, with the charges there, they're going to be relegated. That's it. But of course, they're going to go to the Court of Arbitration, whatever it's called, and appeal and go to the main Crown Court.
No. This is the final. This is the final. You can't go any further than this, right? So, and they've been throwing lawyers in the Switzerland Sports of Arbitration for 10 years. Which got time bar stamp, but here you can't. You know, it's been set, to be honest. And you got a fair point, because I went into One Football to just put Man City news, and there was like this little, to be honest, just for look for a certain article. I went on to read Mark Ziegler's report in Time Sports, but apparently you have to pay for it, so you can't really read it. You can just go by the tweets and what you've been hearing. So unfortunately, you know, you have a point, because during this international break, even if we didn't do anything, there was so much reports regarding Ten Hag sacking, fake news stories, him losing a charity league, and there's so much about Man United that creates so much revenue and clicks for the media as well. And when you watch, like, you know, Sky Sports and all them, ESPN, they're glorifying like City and Haaland and everything, but they love to talk about Man United. Why? Because Man United has been shit for 10 years, right? And now properly, we have done it properly operational-wise. We're looking for financial sustainability to cut the wage bills and be compliant with the PSR and FFP. And we're getting the structure right. Now I know the fan base expect now all of a sudden we have a new facelift, a new open heart surgery, that we start kicking straight away and win the league. But you got to be a little bit patient here. You know, we are on the right trajectory. We are being compliant, making sure that we are sustainable financially, that we're not breaching anything. So in the next transfer market, we can go and do better things. But what they've done here, Omar Berada and everyone else, but by the way, Omar Berada is going to testify as the ex-City boss He's going to be part of this trial to testify. So Man United are part of them. They want to put him down. So what they've done, basically, from a financial perspective, if you look at this transfer window, Sal, yes, they might have cost us, 6 points by hardcore negotiations. But on the other hand, they set a standard to say we are not going to overpay, right? Jared Brentway was an example to say, nah, we are walking away. They went to PSG, did the same thing. Nah, we're not going to pay you. You're going to get this much. They went to Bayern to say, well, here's 51 million for 2 players. That's about it. So we won that battle, right? And that sets the precedent in how we're going to operate and how we're going to be compliant. So I do expect us to be on the top of the league within the 3 years, but I do also expect City to be relegated.
I do as well. I think we're going to shock some people this season as well. I think we will finish higher than people expect. As you said, we brought in Ugarte late. We brought in a couple of players are not fit as well. But absolutely spot on, Mick. Is in regards to the transfers, we dug our heels in and we didn't fall for their bait. As we did before, where we'd be chasing players like De Jong all summer, and then
True.
And now they're just like, all right, you have to take it or leave it. And that's it. And then the players want to leave as well. So at the end of the day, we won that.
Yeah.
We didn't win all the battles, of course, but
we didn't.
But at the end of the day, that Branthwaite deal, in the past, we paid the money.
Yeah, true. I mean, you can't. One swallow will not make a whole summer. So, I mean, we didn't overpay. We didn't get all the deadwoods out. Luke Shaw is still here, injured. We have Lindelof still here. We still have Ericsson here. But on the other hand, we got 17 players. We sold 17 players out the window, and there's been record. We haven't seen that, and we got 7 players in. If this was the old regime with John Murtaugh and co, they would have bought, Brentford for 75, and that would be the end of the transfer window. You know what I mean? So I see it from that way. And yes, we might have won that battle, but what I'm trying to say from a sensible way is that it cost us at the end of the day. Ineos also cost us 6 points because players were not ready. But now we have a full fit squad. We have a bench that looks amazing. And we have an Emmanuel Ugarte that is ready to start against Southampton. We have a little bit of an injury players in terms of Højlund and Luke Shaw not really ready, but there's no point of rushing them back for Southampton. I want to see rotation. I want to see a full fit squad. And I'm also going to see what others like Arsenal currently will cope with injuries, because now they're hit with an injury crisis like you never seen before. Calafiori, we have a suspended Rice, we have Odegaard injured as well. And Arsenal almost won the league last year, but only had 1 injured player last season, and that was pretty much Thomas Partey. So for us, it's so important that we just look at ourselves, our own financial sustainability, and take it game by game. If you watched Ten Hag's presser yesterday, he said, we are very disappointed. Diego Deloy said as well. You can see what we were trying to accomplish, but we have a system where we have the best players in place. It's like recruitment when you're recruiting for your company. In order for you to be successful, you want the best person to do the best job he can, specialist in this area. So I see it's been frustrating. I see we're not clicking into gear as of yet. We're not really gelling. But once that machine clicks in and gel with all the right players in, I think we're going to start cooking, Sal.
I believe that. I think we're a sleeping giant at the moment, and we've got one eye open at the minute, in my opinion. And once we're awake, that's what the media's scared of. They're scared. They know when Man United do awake from this slumber, and that we're going to be successful again. They know that. The cream will always rise to the top at the end of the day, as I've always said, And in regards to Ten Hag, he's at the barrage of, goodness me, I don't know how he copes sometimes, in regards to everything that's on top of him. Now it's the Ronaldo issue on top of him as well. And I was happy the way he responded yesterday. I was happy when he said that, it was Ronaldo who didn't have the ambition to win the league, not me. He said he don't think we can win the league. It was him who said that, And I do believe we will. I believe we will eventually win the league, especially if Man City get relegated. I think it's an open goal, and then to win the league with Arsenal.
He also mentioned something very interesting, that why you like looking at it now, we are just beginning of the season. Speak to me in May when the position is, and then we can talk. And he said also he had a pop back at Ronaldo while he's far away from the Premier League, saying Saudi pretty much shut the fuck up, right? And there was some media questions as well, because they've been creating stories about United as per usual. And me, I've been taking a break. I've been looking at it from holistic perspective, 360. I don't care if you're Ten Hag in, Ten Hag out. I care about us doing it, winning game by game, 3 points. And, the football might not look good. We're a little bit rusty at the moment, but it will come eventually, right? So I think that if you just start to win games, the overall fan base will be convinced, right? I think that the fan base at this moment of time expects too much to be said, because they've seen that Ineos has been doing bits on the market, the transfer window. For crying out loud, we have a total new operational team and leadership team, backroom staff. Everyone is new. And for that to gel and click, you need at least 12 months to get that full operational lean, mean machine going. But so far, we've done it well. And I think that with the players on the pitch, with the right back in, Ten Hag might get it wrong, but he's got everything that he wants. Like, every player that he wanted in congestion and discussion with the board or the operational people. Bavel, the head of recruitment, doing great business. We're talking about Ashford as well, being involved. And apparently they're going to recruit more people around than Ashford and Jason Wilcox. So we will see more support for the manager, which is something that we didn't have before, right? So all we want to do is that just the manager and his coaching staff to just focusing on the games, game by game, right? And this is what they're working towards.
Exactly, Mick. And at the end of the day, in regards to the way we've been running the past, obviously we've signed that PSG chief as well to look after our finances.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
So sure
Jean-Claude Blanc, yeah. And by the way, Jean-Claude Blanc was the man that got Juventus out of the mess when they got relegated. He did madness, he managed to build them a new stadium, and we're going to transition over to this stadium as well. But we forgot all the important people that's been tuning in. So thank you guys for watching. Good morning to you. Salamik is in the studio. Please do not forget to smash that like button if you're new. Subscribe if you're new. We have Barman in the house as well. We have Blix's stream. We have Stephanie Griffith in the house saying good morning. We didn't forget to MVR rumors. And Barman is saying about Chelsea, mess, City, Newcastle that have learned money cannot buy trophies, but not dignity. 100%. That's what we've been talking about. It's all about how old is your club, how big is your fan base. You can't buy trophies. You can't. At the end of the day, it's just plastic, right? There's a couple of big clubs that you could look at, and that's Real Madrid. It's legacy. There's Bayern Munich, legacy. There's United, legacy. Arsenal, legacy. Now, United and Arsenal has been crap because of the bad structure, but now you can see that Arsenal has kind of started to build a structure, given Arteta his 4th year, and it took him 4 years to sort of get these ways of cooking together with Edu, right, the sporting director.
Yeah, people forget it's 3 games into the season. I've never known a league to finish in August. Things can change. We won a double, we won a treble with a weak start to the season before. So things can change dramatically. We know that things can change. We lost a couple of games, but who knows? I think this next 7 games is very telling for me. Like we got Crystal Palace away, Aston Villa away, Spurs at home, obviously 20 and Barnsley as well. So it's a big cup month coming ahead for Eric Ten Hag.
Yeah. Seven games.
7 games. I think it is. There's nowhere to hide, and but we have to give him a chance to prove himself. And tomorrow for me is a must win. It has.
100%.
Because Southampton are weak. They are weak.
100%. Just going to give a massive big up for Jim Watkins all the way from Brisbane, Australia. G'day, mate. How's it going?
Big up, Jim.
Welcome back, and thank you. It feels good to be back. I was in Bali for 10 days. Really enjoyed myself. Switched off. Yes, this next 7 games will be telling and nowhere to hide. I certainly believe so. And what's to say that we can get on a winning way right now? I think that this international break was a blessing in disguise, kind of a reset button. Gives players a little bit more time to gel, to train, and to do well, right? So Southampton away, I don't see us losing this game. I see a revenge. I see that players will be hungry. It's a lot of things on the stake. Based on Ten Hag's presser yesterday. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Look, if we go and beat Southampton tomorrow, and we beat obviously we've got Barnsley first, then we go and beat Aston Villa and then Crystal Palace, things will change. The mentality of the fans will change. Maybe people will start leaning towards Ten Hag. Because at the moment, it seems like we're in a toxic mess in regards to our own fan base. You know, we can expect it from other fans, but it's when it's our own fan base which is the problem.
Yeah,
you know,
not true.
They're not looking at things from a bird's eye view. They're looking at based on their opinions. Like they just want to be right.
Yeah, and their own emotions, basically. Yeah, I understand, because we love this club equally, right? We dream the same dream, but we see not the same thing, right? You know, the way you see football, you know, Joe Blow next door, that a Man United fan, might not see the same thing, right? You know, he's short-sighted, he's emotional, why are you dropping my favorite player? Ten Hag is a bold fraud and all that stuff. Well, you're not seeing it from the whole 360 perspective and long-term vision. And I know that a lot of people are saying, like, well, I'm not, here we go again, process, we know where we want to be. But that is a vision when you set up a company or business. You set a 3-year plan, a vision, and you hire people that can do the job, that will enable you to go transition from A to Z. You know what I mean? So sometimes you do have to have patience, but when you lose a game, 100%, I'm a very sore loser. I don't like it. But you got to dissect the game and see the positives out of it. Like, you know, at least we see what we are trying to accomplish. And that's why I say, as soon as we get into that click gear and everything start working, it's like a machine, we will be good.
You know, people forget is that when Ten Hag took charge of Manchester United, we were a counter-attacking team, right? And counter-attacking football is very simple. A lot of teams play counter-attacking football because it is simple, and players don't have to work hard. We're trying to dominate games. We're trying to change the whole culture of the football club, and trying to go into games where we're dominating, keeping the ball, which we haven't done for years. So we're changing. We're doing the 360 in regards to the way we play. You know, and Ten Hag is trying to implement this, and these things take time. At the end of the day, you're trying to change everything. 10 years of madness at the end of the day, playing counter-attacking football, you know, negative football, sitting back, counter-attack, which is perfect for two players like Rashford, who can just sit back, counter-attack and stuff like that. But we need players who are technically good now, and we need to keep the ball. And this is why it's taking time. This is why people are saying we've got no style of play. Well, we have got style of play.
We have a style.
That's a complete myth. We've got a style of play. It's just that they don't like the style of play. That's all it is.
I mean, it's not the style, it's a system, right? Football is very simple. Football is very simple for me. Football is simple.
Yeah.
It's just receive the ball from the back, play it out to the midfield, transport it over to the attacking line, and score a goal. That's it. And how you do it, it's different formations, different tactics, different. You know what I mean?
That's what they need to do. Give 100% for the badge. That's it.
Yeah, 100%. And so far, what you've been saying, we've been playing counter-attacking football ever since what?
Probably since Moisey days. Probably
Yeah, but Van Gaal didn't play. He was a little bit more pragmatic, right? So
he was defensive. It was boring.
Yeah, and same with Mourinho was also like, it's all about defense and, you know, counter-attack as well. Ole was pretty much a gun-ho counter-attack, right? But now it's a total different. It's not counter-attack, but it's more a possession-based, play it out from the back, high press, and win the ball back up early on the pitch, right? So that's why I see the importance of the goalkeeper, which is also this discussion. Apparently, this news coming out that we are looking secretly for a new goalkeeper, that they're not happy with Andrew Nana, and we are looking for the Spanish #1 goalkeeper, Simone.
Yeah, I'm not happy with Onana too. You know, I don't think he's the goalkeeper. At the end of the day, look, you know, people like Pep Guardiola, they had the luxury of signing 6-7 goalkeepers before they got it right in the end. With Edison. Yeah. You know, we have one chance and we have to get it right. And we got it wrong. And so it took Sir Alex Ferguson years to replace Schmeichel. You know, and their goalkeepers are very, very hard position to fill, you know, and it does take time. And I don't think Onana's that guy. It's nothing against him. I just don't think he's going to bring us forward. He doesn't command his box. And, you know, we brought him to play out from the back. But the most important thing is you're saving shots, you know, and he's not saving everything. A shot against him, he goes in. And I'm a bit scared about that, to be honest with you, that teams are going to start shooting at him. Southampton tomorrow. We're going to try and shoot at him as much chance.
No, I agree. You know, Unai Simon, according to Mark, big up Mark as well. We had a discussion about this as well, and I am now leaning. I'm not impressed. It was a mistake. Like, you know, we bought him in as a ball-playing goalkeeper, like, you know, to play up from the back, but I haven't seen him do enough of it. The way he was playing with Inter Milan was perfect, right? But here he's kind of a little bit of a nervous, like a train wreck, and the most important thing from a goalkeeper is to stop the ball to go into the goal. And he's been letting in far too much easy goals, like, too heavy on the top of the body, too slow to get down, like in the corner goals and stuff like that. So it's not, and it's understandable that United are not looking to secretly speak to Unai Simone as well, like, because I think that if you're going to build from the back, you got to start with the goalkeeper. The back line is now sorted, I think, in terms of the partnership of De Ligt and Licha. We're waiting for Luke Shaw to come back in fit. Left backs, so far, like we're covered with. I wouldn't say that Diego Dalot is a left back, but he's good enough to play in the left back, and Mazraoui. And then we're building from the midfield with the engine of what's his name now, Ugarte, right? The gelling, like the single pivot CDM, and then allow people to press up high. Let Kobe Mainoo roam free. He's a number 8. Bruno, and then you play with Rasmus Højlund, or even 2 strikers on top as well. Like, Xerxes playing a little bit more deeper, feeding the ball into Højlund. And I don't see Rashford fitting into the system either, to be honest, right? So I don't want to see us to shoehorn a Garnacho to the right just to accommodate Rashford. I want us to start wide wingers that can attack the fullbacks. And that the only option that I see right now is Garnacho, naturally in his left position, and Amad Diallo, that's more creative, can put the ball into the box.
Absolutely. I think one thing is with the Rashford situation, that's the only issue I have with Ten Hag playing Rashford every single game. Probably start tomorrow. That's the only thing I would say about that. But look, tomorrow is a massive game. I would say we cannot lose that game. I mean, because of who Southampton are. They've already lost to Brentford and Nottingham Forest as well. So it's a massive game. Just the win will do, and then we go on.
The win would do. But, 3 points.
If it's from a corner off the backside, 1-0, that'll do for me at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Just win the game and move on. But in regards to the goalkeeper, Unai Simone, I like him. I like him as well. I like the Porto goalkeeper, Costa. I did like Mamardashvili of Georgia, but he's gone to Liverpool, of course, so he's going to be going there in January. So, but I was a big fan of Kovar before he left Man United. I don't know why we brought Onana, to be honest. I thought Kovar won the league with Leverkusen. He's a good goalkeeper, and I don't know why we bothered spending.
I think it was more of a John Murta, like Ten Hag was saying, I need a ball playing goalkeeper, and the only one was available was Andrew Onana on the back of a good, successful Premier League campaign. Finished second in not Premier League, but Champions League. Finished second with Inter. There was a no-brainer. He played with Ten Hag before. Oh yeah, we have Onana here. Would you take him? There's no other option. And fizz out David De Gea, by the way, which wasn't he was excellent shot stopper, fantastic. I've never seen a better shot stopper than De Gea, but playing out from the back, that was not his game. So, and unfortunately, football have changed, so the style of play as well. It keeps evolving. So I wouldn't surprise to see people playing with 2 strikers, a 4-4-2 formation. It's XYZ, you know what I mean? So I think we've become good at the end of the day, and I think that Onana, I know, big up Kevin in the house. Oh, Nana, you remember that? Me and Kevin, we did a song contest there. I kind of a little bit regret, but I don't regret doing the Onana song, to be honest. But the judge and jury's out on Onana for me. I think that he cost us way too much games in the Champions League as well. Basically, we crashed out because of his stupid mistakes. I think football is won from the back. In starting, if we want to play out from the back, we need a better goalkeeper. So I don't see, and I put my hand up to say that I don't think Onana is good enough for us. 100% no. But the starting 11 that we see now, for instance, the 3 games, is not going to probably the starting 11 for the remaining of the season. You might even see a Bayander getting a chance in the cup, like against Barnsley, in the Europa League. So the judge and jury will be on Onana. If he gets a blunder, if he costs us again against Southampton, I think he will be benched. Similar, like you chopped off a Casemiro second half in the last game as well. And he had a stinker. Ten Hag just chopped him, set a precedence.
Exactly. I hope Bayander starts against Barnsley because he only played 1 last season against Newport County. And if we can pick the bones of any criticism in regards to Ten Hag, it is his rotation. His squad rotation. Over the last 2 seasons, you would say that he doesn't rotate well. Even with Bayern, they're playing one game in 1 year. It's not enough, is it? So I would like to see him against Barnsley. Some people, some fans in Turkey are saying that he's not good enough. You know, he's worse than Onana and stuff. But I haven't seen that, to be honest with you, in regards to that. Onana, I just feel like, you know, too nervous when he plays. I feel too much on the edge of my seat. I'm nervous when he gets the ball.
I'm nervous.
I'm nervous when people shoot at him. You don't feel that element of assurance about him. Like, you know, he's going to get us out of trouble. We had goalkeepers.
But that's the thing. That's the confidence. So that's the confidence. At least when De Gea was behind the sticks, you know, you knew you had a confidence. If there was a shot on a, you know, he was there stopping. He did some amazing, spectacular shot-stopping saves. But there was also moments where he fumbled the ball at the feet. So if we can get a goalkeeper that is good on all these elements, which is Unai Simon, he's a one of the best goalkeepers. And basically he kept David De Gea out of the Spanish international team from miles away. Like, and he's only 27 years of age.
Same age as Onana, isn't it? That's what it is. You know, they say he's young for a goalkeeper. Simone. I mean, I would, at this moment in time, I would take anyone other than Onana. The only thing about Onana is his personality. He's got a nice personality, a good personality, positive. But at the end of the day, he would have been shipped out a long time ago.
But so was Scott McTominay, to be honest. He had a great personality off the camera, spoke well, passionate guy, but simply not good enough. And now he's off to Italy, right? So big up. Kevin, it's been a while, my friend. I hope you had a great holiday in Malta. I saw you there. Me, I've been off for 2 weeks. I was in Bali. Man, I did some surfing, soul surfing. I did switch away from all the socials. And so happy to be back talking to everyone. We're going to transition over, of course. We're going to do, later on this evening, we're going to do a match preview. The band is back. Jay Daly is coming on as well. You know, we're going to have a spade from a balanced approach. But what do you see? Since I have you here, Sal, what do you reckon? What do you think is going to be the score tomorrow? How do you think Ten Hag will line up? Will it be his strongest 11? Now he's got all his fit players back. How do you see him line up?
I think the lineup, I mean, I would play Ugarte, drop Rashford, play Garnacho on the left with Ahmad on the right, Xerxes up front. Bruno, number 10. I would play De Ligt in the centre-back with Licha. I mean, I'll just play 100%. The best team now. There's no point messing around.
No point.
You know, because we played Anthony when he first signed for the club, and he scored a goal, didn't he, against Arsenal when he first signed for the club a week later. You know, but for me, I'm saying 2-0 United. Although I think we're going to get a strong performance tomorrow. I think we'll win handsomely tomorrow. I'm saying 2-0, but it could be more. Yes,
me personally, I will say voice my opinion later on with Jay. But I don't fear Southampton at the moment. Okay, it's an international break. We're traveling away St. Mary's. It's never easy to go to St. Mary's anyway. So, but I think we're going to get a win. And how we win, I don't really care. For me, it's the win and 3 points. Will we see good football? Will we see Ugarte start? I think he's ready. Ten Hag was saying he played Uruguay International. He came on later than everyone else. He arrived yesterday. He's ready to play. So I love to see what you said. Play the best players in place. Play Licha with, De Ligt. I think that when De Ligt played his 60 minutes cameo, he was perfect. He was fantastic, right? Play the same back line. Midfield, put in Ugarte. Let's see what he's all about. He's ready. And don't play Rashford, please. There's no need to play Rashford. Play Garnacho and play Ahmad on the wings and Xerxes in the middle, right? And give a little bit more time for the injured players to come back. There's no point of rushing back Rasmus Højlund and Luke Shaw.
Absolutely, they're not going to be back. I don't think it will risk them. Ten Hag is very careful with these pit selections. There was rumours that Ugarte had a cold or something like that. You know, but I don't. I think he's ready. He's got to play.
Yeah, I think so.
If he tires after half an hour, after 60 minutes, then we bring him off after 60 minutes. But let's start him, our best team, win the game, and then we go from there.
100%. Jim Watkins goes in exactly what Mark was saying. 4-0 United. I'm not going to go that positive. I'm not going to go get that giddy. But we can see there might be a possibility that we see the XG finally paying off, that we start scoring goals. We see that, Xerxes is on form in Holland. He scored goals. We've seen that Leach has been on fantastic form. Everyone seems to be good form. So Captain Bruno needs to pick up as well. So, everyone needs to gel in tomorrow as well. So big up for all of you as well. We're a little bit strapped on time. Just want to finishing off with, we're going to do the full match preview later on anyway. So we're going to focus on that later on tonight. It's Friday. But a win is a win. That's a must. And if we win this, the mood within the fan base will be totally different. Like, it will just justify all these gash stories, the scrutiny on Ten Hag and the club in general. And speaking about the club, speaking about the ownership, nobody really picked up on that. On this channel, we've been speaking about, how do I say it? I forgot the words, but apparently regarding this stadium, I mean, 27.5% Ineos. They've done more than acting like a 27.5. There's been financial reports. We are now good in sustainability. We've been focusing on, the overall wage bill. We've been cutting that down. It's been fantastic. The next thing is the stadium, right? And we are not going into Bank of America to loan. Apparently, Jim Ratcliffe is going to put his own money into 2 million, and that is something called debt to equity. Same thing. What's been reported. I've been saying that for quite a while. I see a hostile takeover taking place within the 18 months. The way we can clear the debt is that Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos, they sell Nice and they put all the eggs in the basket in Man United, meaning they buy out the debts. And that becomes Class B shares. So that's called debt to equity. I've been talking about this channel for quite a while, and this is exactly now what's going to happen as well. We've seen reports coming out now that he's willing to put his own money into the stadium, and in order to do so, he's going to, in return, he's going to get more Class B shares, more control. So this is how I call a smart hostile takeover. I know we've been crying out for the Glazers to leave the club, but nobody's really talked about the Glazers. I've been in touch with 1958. They're saying exactly the same thing. They see this positive that the Ineos takeover is happening and it's going to be more and more. What's your general thoughts and feeling regarding this? Do you think that the Glazers will finally leave with this approach, what they are doing right now?
I think they will eventually sell to Ineos, myself, if I'm being honest, eventually. But as you said, it will be a hostile takeover. It won't be a smooth ride. Definitely not. The Glazers are clinging on for dear life. I think the way that Ineos are acting, the way they're investing their own money, I just feel like a Glazer just going to say, hold their hands up and say, look, you take over the club and that's it, and that'd be fantastic to have the Glazers out. As it was always about, it was about getting the Glazers out anyway, regardless who buys the club, regardless if it's Qatar, it's Ineos, Amazon or Apple, we wanted the Glazers out.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. And if they do, and I hope they do, the way Ineos are acting is if they do own the club. I mean, the stadium and stuff like that, that is like if you own the club. And they're putting their own money in it. Why would they put their own money into the club?
Yeah, but it makes sense now when you go back, because when they put the initial bid, they put for 61% and went down to 27 with a plan to phase out the Glazers. Okay, we don't have to invest a lot of money right now. What we do now is to put the right infrastructure in place, the best people in class. And then we go on for in the contract. You can buy. You have already a clause that you can buy the remaining of Class B shares for $34, right? And there's something called debt to equity as well. So whatever they do, if they want to clear the debt, that goes that okay. We take the debt, we put our own money in, but in the return, we get extra B shares. So this is something called hostile takeover, and the way they've been operating in ultra lightning speed. I would say within 18 months, which was given in the contract that they will phase out Glazers and there will be majority of the shareholders. All you need is about 51% to have full control. And if you look at what we've done in the transfer window and who we appointed, it's not been Glazers appointments. It's been Ineos appointments. All the operational people, all the CEOs, everything. So it doesn't really make sense. And that kind of gives you an indication that they are slowly easing out and will be cashing out at the end of the day, right? They've not been involved in the transfer. They have not had a say whatsoever. And that's already a hostile hijack, in my opinion.
Exactly. My battery is about to die. So if I do get cut off, guys.
No problems. We're about to wrap up the show. It's been a fantastic debate in the morning. We spoke about Man City, our opinions, fan opinions only. And we both agree that, this got to happen. City's going to be, charged. You can't get away from 115 charges. And if they do so, there's been some reports saying, even by Ziegler and even my friend, good old friend, who is a lawyer, basically the Swedish Rumble. You know Swedish Rumble, right?
Yeah.
So he's been, yeah. He's amazing. I know him personally, and he's absolutely a corporate lawyer as well. So he knows.
Yeah.
And he said, this is serious. This is very serious. That means that if they're found guilty within the next couple of months, relegation, they can be relegated in January. They can just disappear from Premier League in January. What happens with all the players? What happens with City? What happens with titles? Let us know in the comments as well, if you're watching in retrospective, what do you like to see happen with Man City? And that's it. We spoke about also a little bit of way moving forward. We're going to play Southampton. And we also spoke about the hostile potential takeover and the plan, what Ineos are doing. This has been Mick Ruby here, live back. We had a fantastic panel here in form of Sal Warner from Stretford Post. Please, guys, Sal is up every morning doing morning roundups and chatterbox and everything. Sal, please promote your channel, sir.
Stretford Post on the YouTube channel. I'm live every morning from 7 a.m. UK time. 10 a.m. Middle Eastern time. That's why I'm up so early, because I'm in the Middle East. I'm 3 hours ahead of the UK. So that breaking dawn every morning and chatterbox in the afternoon, guys. So don't forget to subscribe to Mick Ruby, MUFC, Realist TV. Absolutely.
Sorry, I haven't. Sorry, I haven't been live for a while, but it feels good to be back. It feels good for everyone that was in the chat. We see Kevin Van Camp. Kevin was in here as well. Good old friend to us on the channel. Everyone that was in here. Listen, stay tuned later on tonight. We're going to do a Southampton match preview with Jay Daly, myself, and hopefully Jarvis Cocker is in the house as well. But you know what? Enjoy Abu Dhabi, my friend, and go knock on Sheikh Mansour and ask what's going on there as well. Ciao, Bella, and we should see you to the next one. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and glory, glory, Manchester United. Not like Poppy. Go, Man United. Peace, love, goodbye, banana. Ciao.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.
There's no way City's going to get away with it. 115 charges. But you know what? Leave your comment in the comment section, and we will get back to you. Ciao.